What's up, guys? You landed on this channel because you're probably like the millions of Americans that struggle with debt every single month. In fact, the average American carries about $6,500 of unsecured debt that they owe every single month. Most of that is revolving, which means that the amounts and the interest rates fluctuate every single month, which takes more money out of your pocket. 99% of my clients over at mycreditcall.com are struggling with this exact issue. Sometimes they have about 4 to 5 times that debt amount on their credit report. So, of course, it'll make them pull their hair out, right? But have no fear, because in this video, I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of getting rid of that debt. My name is Victoria Langford. I am your credit solutionist, and I am the lead debt elimination strategist over at mycreditcall.com. I help people just like you secure their financial future by setting up debt elimination strategies, budgeting, and also credit repair, right? We got a whole arsenal of things that we do over at mycreditcall.com, so check us out. Now, in today's video, I'm going to talk about debt relief programs, also known as debt settlement. If you have looked through my catalog of videos here on the channel, you'll notice that my national debt relief video was one of my highest grossing views that I had on this channel. Now, there's a reason for that. Number one, most people are in debt. And number two, they want to get rid of it. So if you're looking to go into that realm of debt relief, I'm here to say that I don't have anything against debt relief or companies like National Debt Relief. I actually think that they are positive depending on what your financial situation is. So let's go ahead and jump into the 3 pros and the 3 cons of debt elimination or debt settlement. Of course, everybody's situation is different and nobody is a monolith. So if the tips or the pros and cons here do not align with your lifestyle or your goals for finances in the next few years, please take the information with a grain of salt. This is for entertainment and information purposes only. So let's talk about the 3 pros, okay? Because I like to get the positive stuff in there before I give you a little gut punch, okay? Now, the pro number 1 is going to be an immediate reduction in debt. Now, debt relief programs typically boast that they will help you slash your debt almost in half most of the time, and that will then allow you to pay off your debt in less time than you think. I mean, your average $5,000 credit card could literally take 30 years to pay off if you only pay the minimum balance. With debt relief, it essentially takes that all away from you, so you don't have to worry about that. And you end up paying your creditor a reduced amount after negotiating the debt for a lower amount than what you owe. So that is the pro number 1, immediate reduction in your debt amount. So let's say you owe $50,000 on a credit card. A debt settlement program might negotiate for you to pay down $25,000 and be done with it. Now that can alleviate some of the emotional stress that you feel. It'll give you financial breathing room, and it will allow you to start focusing on paying down your debt rather than just surviving. There's nothing like making a payment knowing that you now only have $50 left in your checking account or less until next payday. So debt relief can help you with that, okay? It'll kind of lessen that burden that is on you. Number 2, they offer a simplified payment process. There is nothing more stressful than seeing automatic debits come out of your account from 5 or 6 different credit card companies or loan companies. With debt relief or debt settlement, what they do is they create a centralized payment. So it's kind of like debt consolidation, where they take all of your bills and they consolidate them into one, where you make a payment into an account that essentially goes towards the payment of that debt. So debt consolidation and elimination settlement are 2 different things. So I don't want to conflate the 2, but the thing they have in common is that you make one payment per month to eventually eliminate your debt. So the simplified payment process is so much easier with debt settlement that I do consider it a valid pro. So think of it this way. Instead of paying 25% interest on this credit card here, 36% interest over here, and then paying another 10% to another creditor over there, you're just going to be paying one total fee or one total balance every single month until your bill is paid off, okay? Number 3, it provides you a path to financial recovery. Financial recovery. It's not going to help your credit report, which we're going to talk about a little later when we get to the cons, but it is going to help you to forge that path to financial recovery. Now, debt relief programs, especially like debt counseling, if you're kind of doing both in tandem, they're going to reduce your debt and provide you financial education so you don't end up in that situation again. Now, I don't know the exact numbers, but I would venture to say more than half of the people that use debt elimination strategies like debt settlement, debt relief, or debt consolidation typically end up in debt within the next 10 years, like after they pay everything off. Because if you don't take care of that mental aspect of why we got into debt in the first place, there's no way that eliminating that debt is going to help you, right? You got to get rid of the source, whatever it was that caused you to go into debt in the first place. It could just be your relationship with money or how you view it on a grand scale. So those are the three pros. Now we got to get into the nitty gritty. Once again, none of this is my personal feeling towards debt relief or debt settlement. Pros and cons are just what they are. Now, the first con is potential damage to your credit score. As the credit solutionist, I take this personally because listen, debt settlement causes you to seriously take a massive negative hit on your credit report. Reason being, in order to start negotiating your debts in those debt settlement programs, you have to go into collections. You can't negotiate a credit card balance that is paid on time, where you're making your minimum payments and there's no negative history. The credit card company has no incentive to strike a deal with you so you could pay less if you've always been paying on time. Reason being, if you're paying on time, they're receiving an interest payment from you. So they're always making a profit. I would rather get $20 profit off of you every single month for the next 30 years than to slash the amount due in half and have you pay it off in 6 months. That's just the nature of the business. So back to the con. You're going to take that hit to your credit report because you are going to have to go into collections first. That means late payments. That means it's going to have to be written off, which is also known as a charge off. That's going to hit your credit report and it's going to stay there for at least 7 years. So even though your debt will be paid off, you will still have those negative marks on your credit report, making it harder for you to secure financing down the road. Number 2, high costs and fees that are associated with debt elimination by way of debt settlement or debt relief. The companies will 100% all the time charge you a fee to sign up with their services. I had multiple people come in my comments for the National Debt Relief video and say that they didn't pay fees. I've literally looked at the contracts that my customers and my clients have signed, and you do pay a fee. There's a monthly fee associated with it, and there's a fee to get started. It's going to cost you money to strike this deal with these creditors where you are going to pay less money. So always read the contracts before you sign anything, because any debt elimination or debt settlement company that says that there is no fee involved, that is not an honest statement. 9 times out of 10, they know that you're not going to read that contract and you're just going to sign and pray for the best, right? So always be aware of that because high costs and fees are associated. Con number 3, and the final one on our list, is going to be the risk of legal action. Remember what I said about the credit report where you have to go into collections and there's the charge-off process and all that good stuff? Well, bad stuff. What happens then is the creditor, the collection agency, whomever, can decide to take you to court. National Debt Relief and any other debt settlement company cannot guarantee that you're not going to face a lawsuit for non-payment. It is totally up to that creditor. It's at their discretion if they want to charge you or take it to court and eventually get a judgment. Listen, you're always going to have to pay what is owed, right? So these are things I want you to be aware of. Again, Debt settlement was created for people to get out of the hole and live their best life on the other side of their debt. There is absolutely nothing wrong with doing debt settlement. However, if you have a goal, say you want to buy a house in the next 6 months to a year, debt settlement is not going to be advantageous in your life because you're going to have a bunch of negative items that are going to be sitting there for the next 7 years, causing potential lenders to doubt your ability to repay your debts. So it's not wise. But if you know that maybe you live at home still, or you're like 2021, you have your entire financial life ahead of you, you can risk 7 years of negative history. The other thing you can do if you do decide to do debt settlement and you get some of those negative marks on your credit report is you can actually go to a credit restoration specialist such as myself. So there's always a way to get around these things. Now, we can't guarantee 100% success because once you go into debt relief, that's pretty much what you've decided to do as your ace in the hole. Anyway, I could go on about this forever and ever and ever. If you were wondering about that National Debt Relief video that I talked about, where I was able to break down how their program truly works, and it's something that you're interested in, I want you to check out this video right here. I'll see you guys on the next video. Credit Solutionist out.